நம்மளுடைய ஸ்தானத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம். முழுமையாக நம்ம ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட திருக்கமல பாதத்தில் எல்லாவற்றையும் சரணடைந்து அமைதியாக முழு கவனம் சகசிராரத்தில் வைத்து நம்மளுடைய நுண்ணுதர்கள் நிலையை கவனிப்போம். மூன்று மகாமந்திரத்தை கூறுவோம். ஓம் त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकल्की साक्षात् श्रीसहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் மூலாதார சக்கரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வந்து ஸ்ரீ கணேச மந்திரத்தை கூறுவோம். ஓம் त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। மெதுவாக இரண்டு உள்ளங்கையும் பூமி தாய் மீது வைப்போம். தூய்மை அடைவோம் என்று முழு நம்பிக்கையோடு பிரார்த்திப்போம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, ஸ்ரீ பூமி மாதா, தயவு செய்து எங்களை பாதிக்க எல்லா விதமான தோஷங்களும் பாதாக்களையும் எதிர்மறைகளையும் தாங்களுக்குள் எடுத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். எங்களுடைய சக்கரங்களையும் நாடிகளையும் சுத்திகரிச்சு தாருங்கள் தாயே. எங்களுக்குள் சமநிலை இல்லாத விஷயங்களை முழுமையாக நீக்கிவிடுங்கள். தங்களுடைய அன்பு சக்தியால் எங்களை தூய்மைப்படுத்தி தியானத்துக்கு தேவையான சமநிலையை தந்தருளுங்கள். நாங்கள் எங்களுடைய சிந்தனை, பேச்சு, செயல் எல்லாவற்றையும் தாங்களுடைய திருவடியில் சமர்ப்பிக்கிறோம் தாயே. எங்களை ஆட்கொண்டு அருளுங்கள். ஆதி பூமி மாதா மந்திரத்தை கூறுவோம். ஓம் त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री आदिभूमि माता, साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी, श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः. ஈடாநாடியை தூய்மைப்படுத்துவோம். இடது கை மடி மீது, வலது கை பூமி தாய் மீதே இருக்கட்டும். முழு நம்பிக்கையோடு கூறுவோம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ மகாகாளி, ஸ்ரீ பைரவ்நாத். தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய இடாநாடியை பாதிக்கிற சோம்பல், சோர்வை, துக்கம், வலி, பயம், குற்ற உணர்வு, அசுத்த இச்சைகள் எல்லாவற்றையும் தங்களுடைய பூமி தத்துவத்துக்குள் இழுத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். எங்களை சுத்திகரிச்சு தூய்மையடைய அருள் புரியுங்கள் தாயே. மகாகாளியோட குணங்களும் சக்திகளையும் எங்களுக்கு தந்தருளுங்கள். எங்களுக்குள் ஆனந்தத்தை நிலைநிறுத்த தூய விருப்பத்தை தந்தருளுங்கள். தாங்களிடம் ஒன்றினை அடைவதே எங்களுடைய தூய விருப்பம். அதை திருடமாக தந்தருளுங்கள் தாயே. ஸ்ரீ பைரவரோட அருளால் எங்களுக்குள் உள்ள எல்லா விதமான அறியாமையும் இருளையும் முழுமையாக நீக்கிவிடுங்கள். ஒளிமயமாக வைத்திருங்கள் தாயே. பிங்களா நாடியை தூய்மைப்படுத்துவோம். வலது கை மடி மீது, இடது கை ஆகாயத்தை நோக்கி வைப்போம். முழு நம்பிக்கையோடு கூறுவோம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ மகா சரஸ்வதி, ஸ்ரீ ஹனுமானா. தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய பிங்களா நாடியை பாதித்து கோபம், அகங்காரம், அதிகப்படியான திட்டமிடுதல், பொறுப்புணர்வு இல்லாமல் இருப்பது, கர்த்தாபாவம், மமத்துவம், அசுத்த கவனத்தை ஆகாய மார்க்கமாக நீக்கிவிடுங்கள். எங்களுடைய பிங்களா நாடியை சுத்திகரிச்சு தூய்மையடை செய்யுங்கள் தாயே. மகா சரஸ்வதியோட சூரிய காய சக்தியை எங்களுக்கு தந்தருளுங்கள். சகஜ காரிய சக்தியை தந்தருளுங்கள். ஸ்ரீ ஹனுமானோட அருளால் எங்களுக்குள் உள்ள அதிகப்படியான உஷ்ணத்தை முழுமையாக நீக்கி எங்களுடைய கவனத்தை சாந்தப்படுத்தி எங்களுக்குள் உள்ள புத்தியும் ஞானமும் சக்தியும் சகஜ காரியமாக உபயோகப்படுத்த அருள் புரியுங்கள் தாயே. இடது கை மடிக்கு கொண்டு வரவும். இரண்டு உள்ளங்கை மடி மீது வைத்து முழு கவனம் சுஷும்னா நாடி முழு நம்பிக்கையோட கூறுவோம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ மகாலட்சுமி ஸ்ரீ கணேசா. தயவு செய்து தங்களுடைய அன்பும் கருணையால் எங்களுடைய சுஷும்னா நாடியை முழுமையாக சுத்திகரித்து தூய்மையடைய செய்யுங்கள் தாயே. எங்களுடைய சுஷும்னா நாடியை முழுமையாக திறந்து தடையில்லாமல் வைத்திருங்கள். தாங்களிடம் ஒன்றினையை அடைய தூய ஞானத்தை தந்தருளுங்கள். சமநிலையை தந்தருளுங்கள். எங்களுடைய கவனத்தை நிகழ்காலத்தில் நிலைநிறுத்துங்கள். ஸ்ரீ கணேசாவோட அருளால் எங்களுடைய ஆன்மீக முன்னேற்றம் தடையில்லாமல் சுமூகமாக இருக்க அருள் புரியுங்கள் தாயே. மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் மூலாதார சக்கரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம். முழு நம்பிக்கையோட கூறுவோம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, தாங்களே சாக்ஷாத் ஸ்ரீ கணேசா. எங்களுடைய மூலாதார சக்கரத்தை முழுமையாக சுத்திகரித்து தூய்மையடைய செய்யுங்கள் தாயே. எங்களுக்குள் கணேச தத்துவத்தை நிலைநிறுத்தி செயல்படுத்துங்கள். अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजे. परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजे. ஸ்ரீ கணேஷாவோட துணையும் ஆசீர்வாதத்தால் மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் மூலாதாரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம். குண்டலினி மாதாவை மனமாற வணங்கி ஸ்ரீ குண்டலினி கௌரி மாதா மந்திரத்தை கூறுவோம். ஓம் त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः. மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் சுவாதிஷ்டான சக்கரத்துக்கு கொண்டு வருவோம். माताजी तांगले साक्षात श्री निर्मल विद्या श्री निर्मल चित्ता श्री ब्रह्मदेव सरस्वती. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி எங்களுடைய சுவாதிஷ்டான சக்கரத்தை முழுமையாக சுத்திகரிச்சு தூய்மை அடைய செய்யுங்கள் தாயே. எங்களுக்கு சுத்த வித்யாவை தந்தருளுங்கள். தெய்வீக ஞானத்தை தந்தருளுங்கள் தாயே. மாதாஜி தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய கவனத்தை தூய்மைப்படுத்தி எப்பொழுதும் தாங்களுடைய திருக்கமல பாதத்தில் நிலையாக இருக்க அருள் புரியுங்கள் தாயே. பிரம்மதேவ சரஸ்வதியோடு தூய படைப்பாற்றல் சக்தியை தந்தருளுங்கள். கலை ஞானத்தை தந்தருளுங்கள். எங்களுடைய மேதா சக்தியை மேம்படுத்துங்கள். சாரதா தேவியோடு எல்லா விதமான ஞானமும் வித்தியையும் எங்களுக்கு தந்தருளுங்கள் தாயே. மாலா சுதா கும்ப விபோத முத்ரா வித்யா விராஜத் கரவாரி ஜாதாம் அபார காருண்ய சுதாம்புராஷிம் ஸ்ரீ சாரதாம்பா பிரணதோஸ்மி நித்யம். தாங்களுடைய காருண்ய ரூபம் கடல் போல் இருக்கிற தூய ஞானத்தை தயவு செய்து எங்களுக்கு தந்தருளுங்கள் தேவி. அமிர்த வர்ஷினியாக தாங்களுடைய கருணையை எங்கள் மீது பொழிந்து எங்களை அருள் புரியுங்கள். எங்களுடைய நமஸ்காரத்தை ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளுங்கள். மெதுவாக நம்முடைய கவனம் ஒவ்வொரு சக்கரங்களையும் கடந்து ஆக்யா சக்கரத்தில் நிலைநிறுத்துவோம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, நாங்கள் எங்களுடைய அகங்காரம், மமகாரம் தங்களுடைய திருவடியில் சமர்ப்பிக்கிறோம். எங்களுடைய ஆக்யா சக்கரத்தை சுத்திகரித்து தூய்மை அடைய செய்யுங்கள் தாயே. மன்னிக்கும் சுபாவத்தை தந்தருளுங்கள். நம்முடைய வலது கை நெத்தியில் வைத்து ஸ்ரீ கணேச தரசீஷை கூறுவோம். ஓம் நமஸ்தே गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं हृदं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं मामवक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चातात् अवपुरस्तात् अव उत्तरातात् अवदक्षिणातात् अवचोद्वातात् अवाधरातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्त तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमिष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मास्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वम् इन्द्रस्त्वम् अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरों गणादीं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादीं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वार परतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकार पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वार शान्त्यरूपं बिन्दुरुत्तररूपं नाद संधानं संहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः नित्युद्गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्। एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणं रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्टयाद्धौ प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः। नमो रात्रपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः। साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। மெதுவாக நம்முடைய வலது கை மடிக்கி கொண்டு வருவோம். சகஸ்காரத்தில் கவனத்தை கொண்டு வருவோம். நம்முடைய வலது கை சகஸ்காரத்தில் வைத்து மனதார பிரார்த்திப்போம். தலையை லேசா குனிஞ்சிப்போம். மிகவும் பணிவோடு கூறுவோம், ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தயவு செய்து எங்களுடைய ஆத்ம விழிப்புணர்வு நிலையை திருடப்படுத்துங்கள். எங்களுக்குள் யோகத்தை நிலைநிறுத்துங்கள் தாயே. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி தங்களுடைய அன்பு சக்தியை எங்களுக்கு உணர செய்யுங்கள். சிந்தனையற்ற நிலையை தந்தருளுங்கள். அமைதியும் ஆனந்தமும் தந்தருளுங்கள் தாயே. மெதுவாக வலது கை மடிக்கி கொண்டு வருவோம். கவனம் சகஸ்ராரத்தில் நிலையாக வைத்து அமைதியாக தியானத்தில் இருப்போம். ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜியோட சொற்பொழிவை கேட்டு உள்வாங்கிப்போம்.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. It is very easy to believe that we are seeking the truth in life. Actually, even when we are seeking the joy in material possessions or in emotional satisfactions, we are seeking the truth because truth is the giver of joy. It is the manifestation of the spirit within us which gives us joy. There's nothing else that can really give us joy because all other things have a duality. We'll feel happy and unhappy. If our ego is pampered, we feel happy. When it is hurt, we feel unhappy. We are living in the confusion of the future and the past. And the future and the past is so quick that a moment we are thinking of the past, the second moment we are thinking of the future. There is no time, there is no space in between these two thoughts, and that's how we have never felt that peace which is described, or that peace which is essential for our spiritual growth. Now the reason for this is that we developed from the jada, from the matter. We have come out of carbon, and carbon had to be evolved to this state of human awareness where we can think of something beyond. But still, I would say, at the present moment, as we see the gross, in the gross way, the present is horrifying, absolutely shocking. It's not only in India or in Ceylon or in Burma, but all over the world, the present is absolutely shocking. People are so frightened with the ecological imbalances we have in the world, with the social disturbances people have. You'll be amazed that in England, every week 2 children are killed by the parents. Divorces and people ending up into orphanages, all kinds of violence in America, all kinds of suppressions in Russia, all kinds of other things that are happening in the whole world. I have been a witness to all that. Neither the democracy, nor the authoritarian governments, nor any communism, nothing has really been successful. There has been defects in all the kinds of so-called political lives of the world. Luckily, I am so pleased that I have visited all these countries like China, Russia, all these countries where normally people cannot go. The reason is that whatever we have projected out through our mental projection and have tried to say that this will solve our present problem has not been able, because we cannot actually penetrate into the present. The problem is we cannot even settle in the present even for a second. Then how can you solve the present day problem? The present day problem has not only accumulated from the past, but also from future thinking. Like in India, we had plans for the future. We had plans that we'll do this 5-year plans, 5-year plans, 5-year plans. But what happens? Nothing materializes. What's the reason? The reason is we think of the future which doesn't exist, and we forget the present because we have not tackled the present. The future doesn't work out. I went once to Muradabad and I saw lots of these tractors lying there and just wasted in a junk. I asked them why these tractors are lying here. They said we have imported them to be sent to the villages, but there are no roads. The thing is, the mind, when it is futuristic, it misses the point. It is always missing the train at the right station. It always goes ahead where the train has not reached. So to put the mind to the present is the most important thing, but what we think as the present is nothing but confusion. We try to support any kind of theology or any kind of a theory or any economic solutions, they do not work out. The reason is anything that is mental goes in one linear direction and again falls back and coils back upon. We tried science, science goes and creates nothing but atomic bombs and things like that. We tried other emotional things like poetry, this, that has made people only miserable. People are absolutely miserable when they sing their miserable songs, we just can't bear them. Anything you have tried to produce recoils back and you become unhappy. So what is the reason why we cannot go deep down into the essence of the present, into the subtle of the present? The subtle of the present is the divinity within you. The divinity resides within you. It is there. Whether you like it or not, it is there. The trouble with us, we do not want to accept that we can be divine because we think we'll be very arrogant. We are arrogant in any way, but we think that if we accept that we can be divine, we can be saint, is beyond us. We lack that confidence that when the saints have said, when all the great saints in this country and all over the world have said that you are to be reborn again and you have to become the saint. Muhammad Sahib has said that you have to become the Peer. Then we can say Christ has said you are to be born again. When Nicodemus asked Christ that, is it that I have to enter into my mother's womb again? He said, no. Whatever is born of the flesh is the flesh. But you are to be born of the Holy Ghost. You are to be born of the Spirit. And this he said very, very clearly, but still I do not find his followers are following anything of that. Same about other religions, what we know of Zoroaster, say, or of Nanak Sahib. Nanak Sahib has clearly said that, Kahe Nanak bin apa chinhe mite na brahmaki kai. He said it so clearly. I mean, I don't think anybody has said that clearly as Nanak Sahib and Kabir Das ji has said about the sahaja happening of the Kundalini. Then Hinduism is nothing but Atma Sakshatkar. If we take, say, the revival of Hinduism took place when Adi Shankaracharya came, he talked of nothing else but Atma Sakshatkar, Atma Sakshatkar, Atma Sakshatkar. Even before him came Buddha and other people, they all talked of self-realization. Buddha, of course, did not want to talk of God because he said unless and until they get to the first stage of self-realization, if you tell them about the God or anything, they form their own theories, their own organizations, and they start reporting. So we live with falsehood. Throughout we live with falsehood without understanding what is the essence of every religion is. Now the religions have not failed us, we have failed the religions. All the religions have one essence, that we should know our spirit. Now when we do not do what the religion has told you, and we try to take to something that is dead, then naturally there are problems. And we find that every religion is against every other religion. Not only that, but in one religion only there are people fighting. Now to believe in divine is very difficult in the modern times, because in modern times the people are Rajasic people. The people who are, we call them right-sided, the futuristic people. Now the futuristic people have a very imbalanced mind because they do not know what is right and what is wrong. For them, a devil is also right and God is also right. They have no decision power. They have no absolute within them to judge what is right and what is wrong. And these Rajasic people have another very great weakness for new things. Like a neo something, a neo sannyas and a neo this and a neo. Any new fad you give it to them, you can see it in the West. This is so common and so easily acceptable. Any new fashion that comes to them. Like in England, we have some people who came to see me, had pins and the alpins put in their cheeks and noses, and I asked them, what are you doing? They had painted their hair. They said, what's wrong? I of course did not know what to say, what's wrong with it, but what's right about it? That's what I could ask them. So this is how anything new, anything, something that is not traditional, they want to accept. Because to accept tradition, they think will be dead. Now whatever has come to us through our scriptures has been evolutionary knowledge about divinity. Through all the scriptures, one after another, they came on this earth to tell you the new evolution evolution is a very different thing from some sort of a thing that a new fad starts. Evolution comes like the step-by-step growth. It is the steps are important. The traditionally whatever is coming up is actually the essence is kept the same, and the growth is gradual till you reach a certain point where you realize why the growth was there. But it is not that you just get something from out of the way and talk about it. For example, the other day a gentleman came to me suffering from epilepsy, and in horrid way, and he would not sit on the ground properly because he said his kundalini is awakened and he's jumping like a frog. He is a PhD, I tell you, and he's becoming now MAD. I asked him, how is it that you think you will become a frog now? Do you think you are going to become a frog after becoming human being? He said, no, it is written in a book. I said, which book? He told me a name of a gentleman whom I have never heard about. I said, who is this gentleman? He said, you get a Shaktipat. I said, what is the Shastradhar? Which scripture has described the Shastradhar? Tell me, any scripture which talks like that. How is it suddenly 100 years back, the whole tradition of today's seeking is only 100-year-old? 100 years. Whatever these 100 years these mad people have done, people think that is God, that is religion, that is divinity, because we are futuristic people. We do not see there has to be a Shastradhar. There has to be an evolutionary process. It doesn't come from somewhere. It's not a plastic flower. It is a real flower which has to grow on a real tree, on a living tree, which has got the living force behind it. And ultimately it comes to that flowering, and then it has to become the fruit. And that's why you have seen people who do all this kind of neo-businesses and things like that go into trouble. Of course, the interest of the people is that they might be making money out of it, or maybe they are trying to have some sort of a power over others, or I don't know what is their interest is. But it is so short-lived stuff that it has no tradition behind it, and you should find out what is the tradition of divinity to begin with if you are people who are using your mental projection. People get so much impressed by some sort of a fashion coming up because they cannot know what is good and what is bad. Being futuristic, they want to try every sort of thing that is there and end up into lunatic asylums. Now, I have been talking about the people who are fake gurus. Openly, I have been telling you, all the people in Delhi also, that there are fake gurus. No doubt there are. Their interests are varied, but there are fake gurus. The one who makes you meet the Sahib, as Nanak Sahib has said, is your guru. But also now the whole world is so full of gurus that the word guru itself has lost its meaning. They are agurus. They are not gurus. There are descriptions of these gurus. Sri Swami Ramdasa has described it so clearly. Nanak Sahib has described about Sadguru. There are two words, as Guru and Sadguru. Now, so the religion itself has lost its meaning. The gurus have lost their meaning. This is our present growth. I am telling you the present growth as it is. The politicians have lost their meaning because the politics they are indulging into is human politics. And human politics will always fail whatever you may try. I am telling you today, try democracy, try this, try that, try everything. Nothing is going to succeed till you get to the politics of divinity, the politics of God, where human beings become the spirit. When they become the spirit, universally they are charged. They have universal consciousness. They develop a new dimension on their nervous system, that they become universally conscious. You don't have to tell them that we are brothers and sisters, and then again saying brothers and sisters, next moment they fight. It is a consciousness which takes a new dimension within you, which is within you is, I mean to say, it is potentially residing there, which we have not exploited. And the theme is not of hatred. Here it is based on hatred. Like, you hate that country, that's why this should happen. You hate that country, that's why this should happen. Because the other party is this, that's why this party is different. Who is the other? If you are part and parcel of the whole, who is the other? There is no other. It's the God's realm that we have to enter into. When you enter into the God's realm, you will be surprised. You will immediately take to the people who are saintly. What we need today are saints to lead us. Without saints, you cannot be led to the proper light. And the saints have to lead you in every path of life. We had Socrates so many years back. Socrates came as a great philosopher, I should say, one of the greatest Adi Guru who came on this earth to tell us what sort of politics we should have. But then came, his disciples, Plato and Aristotle, how they one by one distorted. This distortion went on and on and on, and one starts really thinking, where are we? What should we do? Whether to do this or that. Whatever you may do, you will never succeed in getting peace on this earth. Peace cannot be brought in by human beings who haven't got their spirit enlightened. They have no concept of peace. They have no feeling of peace. They have no joy of peace. They have never known what is peace. It is just talking about peace, organizing peace conferences, organizing big things, collecting money for peace. How can you, by collecting money, have peace? By organizing things, by giving lectures, how can you have peace? The man who lectures doesn't have good relationship with his own wife, is going for a divorce case, he's talking about peace. What is in their own lives that makes you think that they're peace? I know people have got peace Nobel Prizes and all that. I've known a person who's got a peace Nobel Prize. He's the most, that person is the most disturbed person you can think of. Extremely hot-tempered, without any balances, because it's the Peace Nobel Prize. I don't know how you get the Peace Nobel Prize. For what? It's all a thing that supports your ideologies. Now you think that this ideology is good. Now you take to democracy, now you take to another kind of a nonsensical, another name, whatever you name it, and then you think this is the right ideology. Now you believe it is right, so you go on supporting it. Now, but you have not known what it does. Like once we had some injections of penicillin and people said it's very good, so they tried. It's typically futuristic, to try everything on human beings like guinea pigs. They tried it, and when it failed, then they started saying that penicillin is bad. So first they must try without verifying. This is the trouble with all mental projections, that we have so much of ego that we do not want to verify. So first of all, we must find out what is the traditional solution of the problems. We have to go to the original, like we have to go to Socrates to find out. We have to go to Confucius to find out about humanity, what he has to say about humanity, what he has said. But Confucius, being a great saint himself, a great philosopher himself, whatever is described is an ideal society. But where are the ideal people? There are no ideal people you see in the world, and you talk of an ideal society. In the devilish world, how can you talk of the great angels? So first, everybody must be made a saint. That is the most important thing, that they should achieve their potential power of saintliness. It resides within us. As I told you, the saints have not told us anything wrong. They have never told us lies. They had no interest in giving us falsehoods. Whatever they have said is within us. This divine power is within us. But we have wasted our life in frivolous, trivial, useless things. The reason is we are futuristic. All futuristic people are like that. They waste their time in trivial things because they do not know what is right and wrong. They want to have a choice. All the time, if you go to America, you'll find that every car has a different door. And if you have to get into the car, first find out how to open the door, otherwise you can be locked. And in that they feel very happy. It's my choice. I like it, so I will have it. But in this I like it, every person likes differently, so there is no universality even in the choice, even in the understanding of it. So first of all, we have to become the spirit, so that we have that new consciousness, the new dimension, which is not without tradition. In tradition, in its own force, you become the spirit. And once you become the spirit, you will be amazed that we are part and parcel of one Virat, one Akbar. We are part and parcel of that great being who is the one who guides us, who looks after us. But let us not talk about God, because that becomes little out of date for the present day intelligent people. But let us talk about ourselves. Have we been able to find out what are our potentials? How much we can know? How far we can become powerful? How many powers we have within ourselves? Are we aware of that? Do we understand that there are lots of things within us? Let us take a very selfish attitude and a very self-centered attitude. You'll be amazed that people who have been saints have been beyond all temptations. There's no question of honesty to be told to a saint. A saint cannot be dishonest. Even if you tell him to be dishonest, he'll be surprised. You don't have to tell a saint that you come along, don't drink, don't eat this, don't do that. He will just not do it. Whatever is good, he will do. Because he knows where his spirit is comfortable. He knows how to make his spirit comfortable. Because he is in that realm where he stands absolute. There is no relative behavior. There is no relative behavior. There is no alternative for him, like as you call the paryay. There is no paryay to it. This is what is the truth and this is what it is, and that makes him also joyous. The rest of the things he cannot bear. He cannot have it. That's not his temperament. He just don't have it. But nobody has taught him. Nobody has told him, don't do like this. Nobody has said that this is what you have to do. He does it on his own. Why? Because he has got the power of his spirit. And the power of his spirit only is nourished on his virtues and his righteousness. Now the word righteousness has out of date. It's gone out of date. I don't know. Maybe after some time they may remove it from the dictionary also. This forthright behavior, this righteousness, this fair play, this honesty, this holiness, this auspiciousness, this innate goodness, all this is your own, is within you, and you can have it. But the people in the present times believe that if you have all these qualities, then how will you prosper? You cannot be all right. You have to play about. You have to do this trick, that trick. You have to cut some throats, otherwise you cannot come up. You have to use all kinds of divisive methods to come up. This is what is the faith today of the people about how to deal with life. But it has never helped. It has never helped anyone. It will never help anyone. What is going to help is the spirit. That when you become the spirit, there is no idea of crookery. There is no idea of doing harm to anyone. It doesn't touch your mind, doesn't come to you. You work very hard. You travel and travel and travel to tell people that you get your spiritual being awakened, you become the spirit so that you get what you have. As Sri Krishna has clearly said so many thousand years back, that yoga kshema vahamyam. He said, when you get your yoga, you'll get your kshema. Not before that. You must get to your yoga. He didn't say kshema yoga. We say Krishna, 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 Krishna. We say, oh, Krishna has done nothing for us. Naturally. Because if you are following Krishna in a way that as if he's in your pocket, he's not. You have to enter into his kingdom to get his blessing. So he says, yoga kshema vahamyam. Even his friend Sudama had to enter into his kingdom to get his kshema. Even the material kshema can work out if you can become the spirit. But your priorities change. That's a different point. Your priorities will change, your satisfactions will change, your joy will change. But this potential exists within you. Today, that's the most important, subtle present we have, that is absolutely there, just ready to be ignited. This is first point we must understand. Today, at this moment, when it is such a chaos, the ghor Kali Yuga everywhere, at that time is most mature. Then second subtle present is that it can happen en masse. It can work out in thousands of people. It is happening. It is happening in Maharashtra. It is happening in various countries. It is working en masse. As I went to Madras, there were about 600 people for my first program. And in the cities always, you see, they have no time for anything good. So there were 600 people. And one of them got up and said, Mother, can everybody get it? I said, yes. But will everybody come? They have no time. They have no time to know their own properties, to achieve that great power within them. That results. They have no time for that. They have time for wasteful things, but if they have time, they'll get it. And next day we had about 1,000 people, and each one of them got realization. Each one of them got realization. It is very surprising that it works in our mass today. This is the subtle present we have got, that not only that divinity is matured fully within us, you are just ready, like a lamp which is just ready to be enlightened. You are that. That's the first thing. Despite all chaos, despite all horrible things you have done, or despite all the present day problems, the shocking conditions in which you live, despite that, the present day subtle is that you are just ready to have it. And second one, as I told you, it is going to work out en masse. Now the third one is the present subtle is this. Not that you are going to get this realization, but you are going to master it. You are going to feel the living power of Ritambhara Pragya, which is all pervading, which does all the living work. You are going to feel that, and after feeling that, you are going to know all the methods and techniques how to organize it. For example, yoga, you can say that yoga is a word means union with the divine. Yoga doesn't mean standing on your head, becoming like an actress. It doesn't mean that. It means the antar yoga. It means the oneness with the divine. Now once that happens, this power that is surrounding us, which is doing all the living work, which is called as Ritambhara Prajna or Brahma Shakti or the divine power of God's love, which is all pervading, that power you feel for the first time in this Kali Yuga. It's told in the Nala Damayanti Akhyan, if you read it, in that Nala and this Kali had a conversation in that Kali said that this is my importance. My Mahatmya is this, that in Kali Yuga only people will get their realization. So now the second subtle point is that you can get a mass realization will work out. This is the second subtle. Now the third subtle, as I told you, is this, that you will know all the methods, all the techniques, all the ways how to handle this power which starts flowing through you. You become like a hollow personality, and this Krishna is playing the flute that you have. You will know all the techniques which even some of the saints may not have discovered at that time or could not have used, but today you will get it. This is the present subtle, where we have to believe into that we are capable of getting our realization, that we are capable of getting it en masse, that we are capable of knowing all the ways and methods of handling it. Now the fourth present subtle is that after you get this power within you, you can move the kundalini of others, that you can give realization to others, that you can master this Ritambhara Pragya, which is the combination of all the powers of the world. It's the Brahma Shakti. All the powers, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, they call it, or you may call it Ira, Pingala and Sushumna, or you may call it sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. All these powers you will have in your hand, and in your hand you will have the complete deftness to handle this power, so that you can cure people, you can relieve them of their emotional problems, you can give them peace, you can give them Kundalini Jagruti, you can give them realization by which they give up all their temptations and all their bad habits, and they become free of this domination of the left and the right, which is the ego and the superego, or you can call it the ego and the conditioning. They become powerful, balanced people, that they know what is right and what is wrong.
ஜெய் ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. கண்கள் மூடி சில நிமிடம் தியானத்தில் இருப்போம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி. கண்களை திறந்து ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜிக்கு நன்றியை கூறுவோம். ஸ்ரீ மாதாஜி, இன்றைய தியானம் அளித்ததற்கு நன்றி தாயே. நாங்கள் தெரிந்தோ தெரியாமலோ ஏதாவது தவறு செய்திருந்தால் தயவு செய்து எங்களை மன்னியுங்கள். நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணி குண்டலினி உயர்த்தி மந்தன் போட்டுக்கொள்வோம்.